Hello everybody, my name is Fancy Munchtax. In this video, I have a green-black Brook deck for you. And this deck, it's probably like one of the coolest. I won't lie, this is a really fun deck. So, alright, so I need to put this as a start video because I forgot to like mention it. But I have two things to say. Firstly, I know a lot of people just click on the video, steal the list, and leave. But because this list is really weird, I highly recommend that you just stay and listen to it. Because if you just steal it, you're not gonna know what the fuck is going on. If you want to just look at the deck loot part, just like scan ahead, it will look different to this, whatever this is. And also check out Sentinel's channel. I'll have it linked in the description. He makes a lot of Brook content, so if you want more consistent Brook content, because I won't make this very often. So if you want more consistent Brook content, go check out his channel. I'll leave it in the description. He's a pretty cool dude. Back to like actual Ryan. I'll start off with saying please like and subscribe. Yeah, but that'd be cool. You know. Thank you, please. And then, so, the Brook leader. So, in case you don't know what Brook does, under the rules of the game, when your deck is reduced to 0, instead of losing immediately, which is what would normally happen, you lose at the end of that turn. And if you put cards back into your deck, you would still lose. And then, the main effect is trash the top 4 cards of your deck, which is, like, the reason you play the leader, kind of, mostly. Yeah. And then, if your deck is reduced to 0, you set one of your characters as active. So, on your lethal turn, you just put your deck down to 0 and you get a free attack. And because that's your turn you're going for the game, you don't care if you lose at the end of the turn, because you're going to die in the crackback anyway. So that's kind of the idea of the leader effect. And then the mill 4 allows, with the cards that we have, is like, it adds a lot of consistency to the deck, and it makes it late game. We can decide exactly what we're going to be drawing, just by putting cards back into our deck. Because let's say we put 4 cards back in the deck and we mill to a 4, we know what all the cards in our deck are. And so we can reuse them, you know? You get that's the vague idea of it, without getting too much into it. So, to start with, we have Chopper. Chopper is the GOAT. Undisputed. Best card ever. So, Chopper is a 2 cost, 2k, 1k counter. On play, you mill 3 from your deck, so it's like a mini leader effect. And then, activate main, so you don't even have to do this on the turn you play him, you can just save him, if you would really want to, if your opponent isn't going to remove him. You just save him for a better turn. So you go trash him, and then you bring back a Straw Hat that isn't Chopper straight to your hand. So now from the trash. So now all the cards that you're milling are effectively searching, if you can just play this Chopper to bring them back. And you can just do this throughout any point of the game. Like, you do have to be wary that, like, maybe late game, if you only have, like, 2 cards in deck, and then you play this, and then you have to kill them. Then we also have 8 cost Nami. So 8 cost Nami is another, like, recursion card. 8 cost 6k, no counter, so terrible stat line, but then, on play, you get to play a 7 cost or less Straw Hat Crew type character from your hand. So the main 2 targets, let's say main 3 targets for that will be this 7 cost Luffy. This is like another core card of the deck. It's the reason this deck can like actually be tanky. So it's a 7 cost, 7k, 1k counter, but it's not really a 7k. So based on the number of cards in your trash, he gains 3 effects. So when you have 10 cards in your trash, which you will always have when you play this card, I don't know if you don't know, I don't know, man. If you don't have 10 cards in your trash, you've done something wrong. He becomes a 9k base, and then gains plus 10 cost. So cost space removal is not touching him. And he's also a 9k. So now he's a 7 cost 9k with the counter. That's just a vanilla stat line already. And then, if you have 20 in your trash, your leader's base power becomes 7k during your opponent's turn. You become a 7k leader on your opponent's turn. And then if you have 30 in trash, he becomes a 10k power dude. Yeah, broken, right? Insane. So that's kind of what this card does. And you play it off the Nami, you give it rush, so you swing like 10k rush, now you're a 7k leader, or you just play it on 7. It's insane. Really strong card, with counter. So if you want it in trash, if you have it in hand and you need it in trash for your Nami, you just counter with it. We also have 6 cost Luffy, so this card another great card. So it's a 6 cost 7k brick double attack. So when we give it rush, if they take that, they just like it's a rush double attack off Nami. And then you on play you set 4 non active, and then you can't play character cards because of 5 or more during this turn. So you can't like stand 4 and then play like another one and then play another one. Because that would be silly. But what you can do, you play if you have like this Brook on the field, you play this Brook on 6, and then on 8 you play Nami into this, and you stand full on, and you go like 11k with this double attack, and then you pop the Brook and stand him again, and go another 11k. And so this Brook, what he does is a 6 cost, 6k, 1k counter. On play, you rest your opponent's cards, so that can be a Don, that can be a blocker, that can be whatever you'd like it to be. So that's already a good start. And then activate main, similar to Chopper, you trash the card, but then you set an 8 cost or less as active, so you can and it's base 8 cost or less, so you can restand this Luffy, you restand any card in the deck. You can go for another double attack, you can go for another 10k swing, you can go whatever you'd like to do. And when you play with this Nami, it also has rush. You tap a thing, You swing a 6k, so you get a card out, and then you still smack in with another double attack. And you pair this with your leader effect, and that's like 2 extra attacks on the turn. It's really good. And then we have Sanji. Sanji is like just a 2k, but it's like the Sindri. Just you play it, you mill 5. It's fine. Sometimes when you want a body to trade into like other small bodies, you play him just for that reason, and it increases your options, ensuring that you make sure you have like a docking to grab off your chopper. So docking, he's a 5 cost 7k brick plus 6 cost, so similar to Luffy. And then on play, you trash 3 cards of your deck, and you play a Straw Hat Crew type character cost 2 less from your trash. So you can just bring back a chopper and then bring back any card that you want from your trash. I have been meaning to add this Zoro in. It's a 2 cost, and then he's like anti-removal. When your dude would be removed, you can just trash him instead. And you can play that off docking as well as active, and he's a blocker. So at some point I'll find space for him, you know. It'll happen, don't worry. And then we also have Rebecca. Rebecca is a 4 cost, you probably know what Rebecca does, but you basically is a blocker, and you bring a card with a black card with the cost of 3 to 7 from your trash to your hand. So sometimes on forward on you play it, you bring back docking, and then you play like a Morgans, or you can play so the main use case is you play the Rebecca, and then you either bring back this Nami, which will help you loop your deck when you're like really thin, but I'll get to that in later, and then you draw a card, or you play Morgans and you draw 2 trash 2. So these 2 cards are like both similar. That's why I play 2-2 split. However, Morgans is better early because he's slightly bigger, so he doesn't just get Elthord, because Elthord pops a 3k and Nami's 2k, this is a 4k. But you also just draw 2 trash 2, and there are a lot of bricks, like Pirate Docking, you don't really want him after your turn 3, because that's kind of the only turn you want to be playing him, so he's just a brick, so you just trash him with Morgans. And he helps you thin your deck as well. So I'm playing this, it's probably shit, but I really wanted a 2k that could be bought off Rebecca, basically, because it needs to be a black 2k, and if you want, you can play this, and then if it ever swings, you mill 2 from your deck, which can be good, and then you can minus something by 2, which means you can start a 9 cost with Luna, which isn't nothing. It's probably not great, maybe it should just be the Zoro, but I also wanted 2ks, because this brings us to 10 2ks. It's mainly just here for the 2k, but maybe the one attacking will come up, probably not though, I don't know. We also have this Nami. This 4 cost Nami is also an insane card with some other cards in this deck. So it's a 4 cost blocker, 1k counter, and then on play you rest 2 8 costs or less, and then end turn you stand 5. So you rest 2 dudes that you can then like freeze with Luna, or if you're the blockers, you just rest the 2 and go for game. And end of turn you stand 5. So you have your 3 counter events that you can use, including I Want to Live. So if you don't know what I Want to Live is, it's an insane counter card. The only problem was there was no deck that could use it properly. Because if there's ever a deck that can use this properly, it's so strong. So if you have 30 more cards in your trash, you just place the top card of your deck into your life. So there's layers to what this does, basically. So you can use it just to counter off any swing at your leader, right? Because let's say they're swinging 15, I just heal and take it. And not only do you counter out of it, you actually still keep the same amount of cards in hand, right? Because you play this, you heal 1, and then that one goes straight to your hand. So you've actually still got the same amount of cards in your hand after this card, but then you've gotten out of attack. And because you're taking a life, you actually get to trigger. So you can stack your deck in a way that you have I Want to Live, and then behind the I Want to Live, you know that you have a Luna. And this Luna's trigger is you can just rest a character. So sometimes you just really fuck over your opponent's lethal, because they're not expecting you to heal, and they're also not expecting you to rest the character. And that's almost like a Quasar Balsa trigger. Kind of. But cooler. So yeah, in case you don't know what Luna does, Luna is like one of the strongest cards in the entire meta. It's a 3 cost. All the opponent's rested characters with a cost of 7 or less do not become active during their natural refresh phase. So Lucy's dudes, Anel's dudes, Yellow Luffy's dudes, none of them get to restand. It's basically a turn skip. And the idea is, actually I'll explain the loop at the end, because I want some slides and it'll be easier than just explaining it in this deck editor, because that'd be weird. And then we also have this Garp event. So this Garp event is a 1 cost, so the first effect is just instant 1k counter. Then if you have 10 or more in trash, you add a 3 cost or less black card from your hand, for your trash to your hand. So you add Morgans if you want, you add Betty as a 2k, you add Shirahoshi as a 2k, you add Chopper if you actually want, you can play this on like turn 2, if you play like a Sanji, or something, and then you bring back Chopper. But mainly it's here for Mantree. So what Mantree does is, it's a 1 cost 1k, then activate main, you pay an extra Don, You put 2 cards from your trash to the bottom of the deck, which is a plus. That's what you want. That's actually a big reason why we play the card. And then you return the cost 3 to 5 black character from your trash to your hand. So that can be any of these 4 cards here: the Wrecker, the Nami, the Morgans, or the Betty. So the Betty's just a 2k. It's rare you're taking this, but you don't mind taking it sometimes. The Morgans and Nami, you do take them sometimes just for the cycle and filter. But really, you're taking Rebecca. So what you do is, if you have Rebecca, you can go Mandatory Rebecca, play the Morgans out from trash, and then or the Nami to draw 1. And then you get to cycle or draw. You get this Mandatory, which they have to kill, or it's going to keep drawing you back Rebeccas. So you're going to keep increasing your hand and staying tanky. And then you also get this Rebecca as like a blocker. So you get a blocker that's active, a blocker that's rested, and this Mandatory that they then have to respect, while putting 2 good cards like I Want to Live and Luna back into your deck. And this can be used to loop your deck. So post-editing Ryan will explain that right now. Alright, so this is the deck loop. This is the situation in. At some point in the game, you will have used a Shirahoshi or a Mandatory to put 2 cards to the bottom of the deck, being E-Luna and a Garp event, typically. Typically you want a Garp event below the E-Luna, but it doesn't really matter, as long as you have some way to keep with like another Shirahoshi or Mandatory or a Garp event. So this is the situation in. You have a Mandatory in hand, either from a Garp event that you've recurred it with, or you've just saved your Mandatory. You have a Luna, and you're about to top deck the Luna. So this is like before you start your turn, this is the situation. And you need to make sure you have a Rebecca, a Nami, and preferably another Mandatory or something in trash. So then we draw for turn, we've drawn the Luna to hand. And we're going to play the Luna, obviously stunning either like all the Starboys or the Enel stuff, whatever, we're just playing the Luna. And then we play a Mandatory from hand, tap 1. And then we use the Mandatory's effect to put the Luna and a Garp event to the bottom of our deck again. So preferably a Garp event, could be an I Want to Live. And then bring back the Rebecca to hand. Bring back the Rebecca to hand is very important, and Luna at the top of the deck is very important. Then we play out the Rebecca from hand that we brought back with Mandatory. We play out the Nami to draw a card, because we already have the Luffy in play, presumably, and we already have 6 or less. Then we draw us into preferably the Garp event, so because with this 1 Don remaining, we can use that Garp event to bring back a Mandatory, so even if they kill the Mandatory on board, we can just do it again. And then look at the situation we have right now. This is the same as the start of our turn. We still have the Luna on the top and a card below it, but now we've gained the Rebecca, which is a blocker that you can just block with. It's just a chump blocker. We also have the Nami, which if they don't respect, it's just going to get a free block next turn. And the Mandatory, which they definitely have to kill, or life just becomes so easy if they don't kill the Mandatory. And because typically you always have at least a 7 cost Luffy and probably another character, either an 8 cost Nami or a 6 cost Luffy on board. So you're freezing their entire board while maintaining those 2 swings and being a 7k leader. It just locks them out of the game. It's such a strong combo if you put it off into Sabo or Enel. Okay, we have a game against a Boa. This is a voiceover, by the way, in case you can't tell. So this list was slightly different, because I was playing this Margarita card, because this is like pre-Borsa Quasar pair ban, and Margarita can put the Borsa on deck. So going first, it's actually a pretty good hand. I keep that, yeah. We just mill the 4 and pass. We get a docker and a docking and a chopper in trash, which is good. He just stacks his life, so we're not going to punch him this turn. We're just going to mill 4 again, obviously. And then we play the Marguerite, and I think we just pass here. Or maybe we played this, I don't remember. I don't think we played the Sanji though. Okay, we did play the Sanji. I don't know why. I guess, why not? We're probably looking for a card I didn't see. I don't have a good look. So here you plays this thing, spring 6k. I think we just 2k. We want to stay healthy. Then we mill 4, we play the docking into chopper, which brings back the 7 cost, and then we pass. Here I think he plays 5 cost Nami. Yeah. That's fine. He was like 7k, we have to take that as well. Okay, so we hit 7, we just swing the 7k with docking and play Luffy. Obviously keep milling 4 every turn. because we want to get our deck as thin as possible so we can start looping Luna and things, or just training the I Want to Live event. And the cool thing here is if they go like a massive unblockable swing at 0, we can just play the heal event, which is very funny. Okay, his life was actually only Marguerite, so it wasn't that bad. It wasn't a Gorgon Sisters or anything. And then when he's done, we'll play the Luffy and pass, because there's no point swinging a 5 if he can block for 6. Your 7, I think we just counter Wrecker here. Yep. Here's another 7. I think we take this one and counter the next. Because we don't really want to give him... No, we might have 2 cage, but like... We don't want to give him Manjury here. Okay, yeah, we take it, and then we can give him the Sanji. And we mill 4. Brings us to 6 in deck. Alright, we start with a 7k at life. That's fine. We'll see if he burns us and then puts us to I think I was trying to work out how if I could actually live an unblockable like 15k if he goes to burn plus to 0. I think this is where I realized, hang on, like if I just have the heal event. So here I'm at 6th in deck. I've seen that there is a 1 I Want to Live in trash. So I'm kind of working out if I Mantree into Morgan's, there's a 1 in 3 chance that the card that I draw an I Want to Live. And that would just get me out of a massive unblockable swing. So that's what I think that's what I do here. Instead of playing the 8 cost, we just we put the I Want to Live and the Luna in that order. So I Want to Live on top this time, not Luna, because I wasn't planning to Luna loop, I don't think. Okay, we get the Morgans. We draw 2, trash 2. We didn't find the I Want to Live. So we trash 2 bad cards, so that's still good value. And then here, I probably just play the Nami, rest, and then we can actually punch at the Ran. We can put the Don on the leader because the Nami will untap 5 Don for our 1 counter run in hand anyway. And because he probably knew that we have the I Want to Live, it really disincentivized him from going an unblockable swing. So here he just plays Gorgon Sisters, so he doesn't go for it. Chicken. Yeah, he does actually have the female, he just isn't doing it. And double 2k, which is something to keep in mind. And he goes a bunch of 7k pokes, which give him the Jobber. Because now we only have 4 in deck from what I remember. Okay, yeah, we give him this event, that's fine. I think I would have rather given him the Jobber here, but it doesn't make a difference. We just bring back Shirahoshi. Maybe Mantree? Yeah, because we have a Mantree on the field. That we can quite easily defend, and he doesn't really want to waste a swing into, because if he goes 0 at 0 with his Glorioso, we can just block with our Nami. And here we put the Morgan to trash so we can make sure we can loop it if needed. And here we have 3 in deck. We know what 2 of them are, so we actually should be able to figure out what our next card in deck is as well, I think. Wait, no, we have too many cards in deck right now. Maybe it comes up later. So we put 2 more at the bottom, because he didn't kill the Mantree for some reason. So we put another Luna. So our deck is I Want to Live, Luna, Mantree, and then bring back Rebecca, I think. Here we go. Yeah, I think we just bring back Rebecca. Okay, we just choose to do Morgans because we don't. I guess we don't want to play over the Mantree. And here we draw into an I Want to Live and a 2k, I think. And now we do know what our deck is, I think. We can work out that the top deck is... I think it's Akos and Nami. Yeah, 5 in deck. We know what... We've put 4 of them there ourselves. So we know that the top card of the deck, if you look at your trash and just see what you don't have, you have to know every card in your deck list for this, obviously. But it's really easy. The first card I check... What am I typing here? I can't read that, man. But basically, I can look at my trash here and just see that I only have 3 Namis in total. Meaning that the last one is at the top of the deck. So if I do the heal event right now, it's only going to put a cost at the top of my life. Oh, I see he also plays Quasar on this deck, as well as Borsa, because... Yeah, that's where I think I write... Yeah, I think... It's Akos Nami. Akos Nami is the top card of my deck. Because you can just look at your trash and work it out. Go 10 at base. It's fine. And then I guess I just hold. There's no reason to go 7 over 8 here. Okay, he goes down to 0. Wait, did we just kill him? Oh, we just kill him. Okay, yes, we didn't want to risk the 14. We could have gone 14 at life, but here he just plays the Borsa instead. Okay, he kills the Mantry. We already have another one, so that's fine. Okay, he goes here. This is where I realize, hang on. He's playing Borsa. He's playing Quasar in this deck, even though it's meant to be pair banned on ranked, but I guess it just isn't. I don't know. I saw an announcement on Discord or something saying that, like, yeah, it's pair banned on ranked, but this guy was using it, which is lovely. Yeah, looking at the announcement now, it is meant to be pair banned. I don't know, man. What a fucking loser plays Quasar Borsa when it's literally pair banned in like a week. Ugh. I think we just block and take the... Yeah, we just take the block. We don't want to give him any of these cards. Okay. I think really we should just block with the Morgans. And we just kill him here, right? We didn't even need to loop anything. Because he just didn't turn his character sideways at any point, so there was no need to loop. There we go, 10, he just blocks it. And now you just play 8 cost into Brook and we win. We're like 7, 5... No, just kill him. Oh no, he's Quasar in life, never mind, hang on, no, okay, we go to 7. Oh yeah, because, yeah, Broken Quasar, balance card, guys. Balance card combination for sure. Okay, he counters that one. Yeah, so we actually do have to extend another turn because he has Quasar, which is just so yucky. Yep, we just go 7, that's fine. We'll see what he does. We threaten a big... If he didn't actually have stack of Quasar, we would just win. We just go just shove everything on the Morgans and swing twice with it. Which would be funny, but you definitely stack the Quasar. There's the Quasar. Yippee! And now we do a Manchery. Okay. We know the top card of our deck is Live For. So... I don't see why we wouldn't Manchery here. Yeah, I should have played Manchery. Okay, makes sense. Because now I can go Live For into Lunar Trigger. Which would be funny. And we have a blocker. Like, we would be lunaring him. He just isn't turning his card sideways, so we don't need to. Or he plays the Boa, which can't stun our Luffy, so it just stuns Doki. Which doesn't do anything. I can see... Yep, so here we just heal and take it, I guess. I don't know why we didn't just Shira. Yeah, because now this Luna doesn't do anything. We only want this Luna to be off a heal. Because we don't have the full cost Nami. Then we can just kill him. We just start the 10, see what he does. So we can go like Nami into Brook, the 6 cost, and then we spend like 3 times with this and rest a blocker or a Don. So we go 10. Yeah, now we just play the 8 cost to play the Brook and win. It was a really weird game. He just never went for it. He was such a chicken. Like, he just didn't play the unblockables, so we just never won. He played this so weird. And we actually get to go 6. If this is like a Frighten Me, we actually would die. It would be kind of funny. But I guess we were just like swing like 2 6s with the Morgans. Like a 5, 6... 6, 6. Yeah, I should probably still would have killed him, even if it was frightened. Yep, that's it. Please subscribe if you've come all the way to the end of the video. You can definitely subscribe for me. Do it. Thank you.